Chris.
Hey, how you going?
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a counselor here at UOB.
Great to meet you, Josh.
How you doing today?
You know what? Really good. Yeah, everything's going good.
Good, good. Well, before we get started, I just want to let you know everything we say in here is going to be confidentiality. Under confidentiality statement says everything we discuss is going to be held between me and you. And only reason I'd have to break that confidentiality is if you tell me you're thinking about hurting yourself, or you think about hurting someone else, or someone's hurting you, someone's abusing you, physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, or you're thinking about damaging the property in some way.
Okay.
Okay? Do you understand all these?
Yeah, I do.
Any questions at all?
No questions.
Okay. Well, tell me what's going on, Chris.
Well, you know, at work, you know, it's been making my job a little bit more difficult. It's just because I have this coworker. She is the admin girl. She works the front desk, and she is by far the laziest coworker I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like calling her my coworker. She is just, you know, I mean, she'd rather, instead of doing something, she'd rather, you know, watch a Hulu movie or play Candy Crush the whole day. And you know, it's really just, it's making my job harder, and at the same time, it just makes me upset on her work ethic.
Yeah, I understand your frustration. What have you done to kind of alleviate it? Have you talked to her about this? Spoken to a boss or supervisor in some way?
You know what? I have not. You know what? I sort of somewhat talked to her.
I'm sorry. Let me pause right there. I asked you too many questions. Have you spoken to her about this at all?
I have not spoken to her about this. I don't want to talk to her about it just because the type of person she is, it's just, I don't think it'd be worth my time to even talk to her about it. She's, you know, very snotty attitude, you know, just a very different type of individual. So I've sort of made comment, and this is the reason why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. I sort of made comment on her work ethic, and she sort of took it offensive.
Wow.
So I know if she says something to me, I'm gonna have to say something back.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to, you know, not make that happen.
Okay. Have you spoken to a supervisor or anything about this situation?
I have not yet. I have not. Yeah, I've spoken to one colleague about it, and he has noticed the same thing as well. He's just, you know, a little bit more quiet, not really open about it.
Okay.
And it's affecting his job too as well. Not nearly as bad as mine, but no, I haven't spoken to my supervisor about it. Yeah.
How is this affecting your work exactly? What is she doing that's affecting your work?
What she's doing is, like for instance, her job is to transfer, you know, phone calls to me. She's also supposed to forward emails that they send to the General USA campus.
Okay.
But what she does, and she's supposed to answer the, you know, general questions, and then the more detailed, where they need a little bit more detailed information, she's supposed to transfer those ones to me.
Okay.
What she's doing is she's just getting the phone call, not asking what the question is, and transferring the email. And that's I'm normally supposed to get about maybe 50 emails, 30 calls. Everything is doubling.
Wow.
And with that, answering all these questions and emails on top of my regular job duties makes it a stressful day every day when it shouldn't be like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a really frustrating situation. I mean, if you know someone's not doing their work and it's piling on top of you, on top of whatever your responsibilities already, that's really tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of ways you could go about this. When do you think would be a good time you could speak to a supervisor about this, or maybe even do you have a human resources counselor at your work where you could maybe get them to kind of mediate the situation between you, or?
You know, that's a really good idea right there. Real good idea. I don't know. My supervisor, she's a very nice woman. I mean, she's
Okay.
very nice, very flexible. But the thing is, she doesn't really know how to handle situations well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the type that if you're in trouble, instead of telling you, hey, listen, can we talk on a one-on-one basis, she'll send you an email asking you about like a certain situation. That's from what I heard from other people. So, I don't think she's a good resource. And as far as the human resources is concerned, the crazy thing is my human resources manager just got promoted.
Wow.
So we're in between trying to get another human resources person in the office right now. Yeah.
So you're feeling kind of frustrated in this situation and then kind of stuck in no way to get out of that at the same time. That's kind of what I'm getting from you.
Yeah, that's the exact feeling. It's like stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, what to do. Yeah.
And you tell me more about your assistant. You said she kind of have a snotty attitude. That's why you didn't want to kind of speak to her about what's been going on.
Yeah, she's the admin assistant, for all of the counselors in the office, and she's just, I don't know, I just get that feeling she's a real cold-blooded person, and like I told you, I mean, it's so close to if she says the wrong thing, I'm gonna tell her what I think about her job, and it's going to be insulting. But I'm sort of thinking of going that route just because she needs to hear it. I mean, I could word things in a nice way, but still tell her you suck at your job and you shouldn't be doing this. That's what I'm thinking, Josh.
Well, what if you instead of having an HR, but maybe you got a colleague or something. Like you said, your colleague it's kind of affecting her, affecting your other colleague as well.
Right.
What if you all kind of got together and just kind of discussed it in a nice way? I mean, you said you had words before.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe if you went to her with not so much an apology, but in kind of hey, we're working together. We're here for the same things. This is kind of what I'm saying. What are you saying? Has she said anything to you about what maybe your job is affecting her in some way?
No. My job, I can't affect her job because she has like the most lax, job in the office. Yeah, so I'm not affecting her job.
Maybe that was a bad example. But what if you, like I said, my only advice would be to try to speak to that supervisor.
Okay.
And she said she doesn't. You said you heard she doesn't like conflict, but maybe this situation is really different. And maybe some of your other coworkers have complained about the lack of production from the assistant. So
that's true.
Yeah.
I like what you said. As far as like all of us getting together and maybe talking, I think I'll do something like that. Try that out.
Do you have office meetings at all?
We did when I first got there, but my supervisor, assistant dean, she's more or less like, instead of having a meeting, you could write an email and forward it to everybody. So my meeting would be whatever I write in this email, forward it to everybody. Yeah.
So it's kind of getting really impersonal in the office when things need to be taken place in a more face-to-face fashion.
Yeah, the communication is all off in that office. It is just crazy. It's ridiculous. That's one thing I can't stand about that office. Yeah. So I'll try that.
Well, I'm going to give you some homework. Okay. What I want you to do, and however you have to do it, hey, whether it's through an email or face-to-face, I want you to go and speak to your supervisor about the situation. Just try to present her, so what you're seeing, and just let her know. Ask her if there's been any other complaints about the situation or not, and just see what happens from there. And then, you think that'd be possible to do?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? What do you think your supervisor would say?
I think she would. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I mean, I hope she would sort of come up with a way to handle this, even if it was, you know, calling us both in the office. But that's a good I don't know. I hope she wouldn't say, okay, Chris, I'll handle it, and shoot out an email to her and I. But, I mean, maybe I'll just make word that I think we should all talk inside of the office or something like that.
It sounds like a good idea. Now, worst case scenario, what if she does just shoots out an email, and what if you notice there's no change? How do you think that, what do you think the next step should be?
I just would have to talk to her, and if her feelings were hurt, it would make her, you know, a better person. It would. I mean, I'm not gonna be the nice guy while she's doing this. I'm gonna see if these habits keep maybe for another week, and if it goes on another week, yeah, I'm just gonna have to say it in a nice way. If her feelings are hurt, hey, it'll make her a better person in her next job.
Well, and I just kind of want to caution you. You don't want to come off as the office bully.
Yeah.
I know. I know it sounds kind of silly, but I mean that's been a big thing lately. But and like I said, I understand your frustration. You know, work's not getting done on one end, and it's piling up on your end.
Right.
You know, so like I said, I think you should really speak to your supervisor about it and kind of let her know how urgent this matter is. It seems like it's really hard on you.
Yeah, it is affecting me a little bit. Yeah. And it starts, you know, I mean, because if work is affected, and then I already have a long commute, and then, you know, I also am in school and, you know, have a family, like all this stuff.
There's a lot, and it sounds like there's a lot on your plate.
Yeah. So I definitely will do that. That's gonna really, that would really alleviate a lot of stuff.
So sometime within this next work week, okay, I want you to go in and speak to your supervisor about this, okay? And tell her what you tell me, how frustrated you are with the whole situation, okay? And maybe that'll get the ball rolling on some things. Like I said, maybe some other people have the same complaints or have noticed the same things. Maybe she has and just hasn't said anything because she doesn't know how it's affecting everybody else in the office.
That's true. Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
I will do that. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So in our next meeting, we'll schedule. I think you had it down for next Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just come in and you know, I haven't spoken to your supervisor about that, and then okay, we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Good.
I feel good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
And we're 2 p.m., right?
Yes.
Okay.
2 p.m.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Chris.
Pleasure.